Supplywise Podcast.
Hello, and welcome to Supplywise, the what and why for residential, commercial, and industrial building supply. I'm your host, Andrew from Mountain Land Supply, and today we have Jim Bogdan, Senior Territory Manager for Moen, back with us again. How's it going?
Doing very good. Thank you for having me back.
Yeah, you've been on before with our magnetics. We talked about that with Moen and some customer appreciation stuff that we did a little while ago.
Right.
So glad to have you back. Today we are going to be talking about Flow by Moen, a water leak detection system. You've got the pieces right here for that. So how does Flow work?
So the Flow by Moen leak detection system is a water monitoring valve that is installed on your plumbing main after your PRV. And this valve pairs to an app on your phone via Wi-Fi connection. And it basically, what this device is looking for is abnormal water usage that could be a potential leak or potential flood. And if it determines something is out of whack, alerts you, shuts off the valve to protect your home.
Awesome. So you've got this main piece right here for the shutoff valve. Mm-hmm. You've also got these sensors over here. Mm-hmm. So what is the best water shutoff valve?
So the Flow by Moen is the best water shutoff valve on the market, and there's a couple of reasons for that. The first reason is because of how easy this system is to use. Like I said before, this does pair to Wi-Fi via a Moen Flow app. And from that app, it shows you what's going on with your water constantly in your home. It does water usage reports and also narrows it down by fixture, how many gallons of water you're using by fixture on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. And then in addition to that, it's constantly monitoring and learning how you use water and looking for abnormality water usage that can be determined to be a possible leak. And then Flow will alert you in many different ways. It can text you, it can email you, it can do a push notify to the app, as well as automated voice call to alert you of something it sees. And if you do not respond to that alert, after 5 minutes, it will shut off on its own to protect your home.
I like that you said that it learns how you use water, so that way, if you have a large family who uses a ton of water with showers and all that kind of stuff, it's not just going to shut off on you because it's thinking you're using a bunch of water. But if you have a smaller house as well, or a smaller unit or something like that, it still works for that as well.
Right, exactly. It's like for heating and cooling, there's a lot of thermostats on the market now that are learning how you use your heating and cooling system. And so this works the same way with water. Mm-hmm. And then to make it even more of a secure system, we have these Moen smart water detectors that can be used in conjunction with the Flow to shut off this valve immediately when any drop of moisture hits the smart water detector. And what's great about these, you can put as many of these as you want in your home. You can name them based on the location: water heater, kitchen sink, refrigerator. And that way, if one of those does get wet and triggers a shutdown of the valve, you know exactly which one did it. Or you can also put these in places of the home not tied to the plumbing system, like a windowsill, a walkout basement, somewhere where you do have times where you do get water seepage into an area, and you want to know that immediately and address it, even though it may not be able to shut down the flow and stop that.
Awesome. So is Moen Flow worth it?
Definitely it's worth it. So the Flow valve installed is about the price of the average homeowner's deductible. So, basically for that same price of their deductible, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more, depending on where the valve is installed in each individual house is different, and the accessibility. But for that little price, you have that protection. And anybody who's dealt with water damage knows how expensive that gets. You have the whole remediation and all the repair and remodeling that can go into it. So definitely it's worth it. And in fact, one of my favorite stories to tell is about a plumber I know who put one of these in, and 2 weeks after he put it in, called me and told me how Flow saved his basement from a flood. And the way it did that was his kids were outside playing with the hose, turned on the hose, and one of them put the hose in the window well and started filling up the window well with water, not knowing that eventually that water is going to break the window and flood into the basement. And so Flo caught that after a few minutes of that gushing water filling up a window well, and alerted him, and was able to shut off the water supply and protect the home.
That's awesome. That's pretty incredible that he was able to do that. And yeah, water damage in your basement or anywhere really. But people keep keepsakes in the basement, stored and stuff like that. So not just the actual cost of replacing stuff and remodeling, getting rid of mold, all that kind of stuff, but sentimental value, all that kind of stuff. If you're keeping things like that in there,
definitely.
With the holidays kind of on the horizon, I know that this year is a little bit different than most years, depending on where you're living. But if you do have holiday travel plans, this is also a great way to make sure that you have peace of mind that you're not going to have, say, burst pipes, or you're not going to have a leak in your basement. You can set this up, have peace of mind that if something does go wrong, you're not going to have to rush home or worry about it, or have someone kind of working with you from afar.
Right, exactly. In fact, there's a vacation mode setting that you can put the valve into via your phone app. And when it's in vacation mode, essentially, if any water passes through this valve longer than 5 seconds, it immediately shuts down. Instead of waiting 5 minutes, 5 seconds, shuts down, protects your home, sends you an alert that says, hey, flow shut down to protect your home while you're out of town, and give you that peace of mind that there's no way you're going to come home to a flood or any type of water damage in your home.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thanks for coming on and chatting with us, Jim. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You can find this product at mountainlandsupply.com or with your Mountain Land rep. You can find this podcast at mountainlandsupply.com/supplywise or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. Make sure you tune in every other week for the products and services that make you supply wise.